This is Invasions, the Barbarian Invasions of Europe. It's from Wisdom Owl Games, and we're playing the full campaign at the moment. This is the situation at the start of the military phase on turn 2, and I just thought I'd have a quick sort of run through my thoughts on the game so far. Now, what I would say is, if you're not particularly interested in history, I wouldn't play this solo anyway, because mechanically the game is very complicated in terms of keeping an eye on all your income, on your victory points, and also the fact that each individual faction has a load of very specific rules going with it. Now, if you were playing opposed and there were 4 people playing this game, it's manageable to keep an eye on all your different fractions, right? Because at the start these are all barbarians up here, but a lot of these can eventually become kingdoms and even empires. And once you get to that stage, they're much more tricky to actually administer, and it quickly sort of overwhelm you solo, unless you sort of, well, you have to keep a running total of your economy, otherwise you wouldn't be able to handle it. You can use a spreadsheet if you have a laptop or a tablet nearby, or you can just do it this way, which is working, and it makes it manageable as a solo player. I think your big problem trying to get this to the table with multiplayers is convincing people to learn the game. I think a lot of people would only take this on if they were interested in the period again. I've sort of done all right with it. I've made a few errors, but nothing critical. And when I have made errors, it's tended to affect all the fractions. In total time as well, it's a big time commitment. I'd say the first turn, there's a lot of rolls looking up and messing around. It's taken me about 4 hours to do the first turn. And I think the second turn is going to come in around 3 hours because of the fact that there are now an extra 4 barbarian nations on the board, and also there's a whole series of steps like diplomacy, administration, aging, caravans, which weren't played on the first turn. The practicality of it, stacking, yeah, you're getting these huge stacks. I don't know about that. It depends. Again, if you're playing solo, yeah, just create some off-board sheets and just put the leader's name next to it, put the leader counter on the board, and put the leader's counter's name on the sheets, and then just put the units out there. That's fine. But one thing to remember, that these stacks, they sort of provide a fog of war, because as the barbarians, you don't know what's in that Roman stack. It could be auxiliaries, barbarian auxiliaries, or it could be hardcore elite units. And the same with the barbarians, you don't know what the state of those units in there is. There can be some nasty surprises in there. Anything else I'd like to make a mention of while I'm here? Oh yeah, downtime as well. That's something to be wary of if you are playing, particularly if you're playing the green and blue fractions. At the start of the game, you have very little to do. Obviously, as time goes on, you're getting more fractions to control, so that becomes less of an issue. You can see that by I'm keeping these little counts of how many victory points. So these have accumulated. And you look at that, the ones at the top, those 2, green and blue, they've hardly accumulated anyways. If you're down to the other nations, there's big stacks of victory points piling up. Like this Rome's already got 100 and 1 victory points. That's the Eastern Roman Empire. Now, obviously, as nations age, things are going to get difficult for them. You tend to lose a lot of your income. You get a lot of instability and stuff like that. You usurpers to the throne, etc. And we've also got all these barbarian fractions. We've got the Visigoths. You've got an invasion coming in. Huns have got an invasion coming in. And there's all these extra barbarian units here that are all pre-programmed to head into the empire. So you don't have to follow the programming, but you get more victory points if you follow your program, if your faction follows its programming. For example, the Visigoths, historically, they moved into the Balkans, then onto northern Italy, then into Spain. And if you do that, you are likely to pick up a hell of a lot more victory points for that fraction. Well, not likely, you will do. So that's it, that's my thoughts on the moment. Now I'm going to play it. I won't finish I'm not going to play this to the end. I'm just going to play it until the Roman fractions either get completely annihilated or reduced to a core of what they were. You never know. We might be able to get to a situation where the Eastern Empire is able to recover a lot of the territory that was lost, like it did historically. That's it. That's my thoughts on the game.